Live this evening from the Concord Speedway in Concord, North Carolina, round 11 of Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League at Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series and Chase Race 1 of 5 in action tonight. 200 lap speed around this racetrack that can only be described as interesting. A triangle. It's got a dog leg, a bus stop, whatever you want to call it on the back straightaway. Other than that, you got turn 1 and turn 3 at about 30 plus cars, 12 of which who are fighting for a championship in these next 5 races. Myself, Evan Pasoko, PDJ Zeller, and Justin Rose, now the broadcast crew for you this evening. And this is a racetrack that, to start off a championship, a lot of the drivers said it's going to be rough or interesting to get through this one, and 200 laps is a long time, and that leaves a lot of opening for some things to go downhill. And with 5 races, you can't afford nearly any mistakes.
No, you cannot. Justin Brooks, Justin Fuller, Ryan Borges, just 3 of the big names contending for this championship, will need to perform at a near peak level tonight. And as far as tracks go, this is as tricky as they come. You have a high banked, fast turn 1. You have a dog leg that if you're side by side, you're going to need to let up for that thing. And then you have a completely flat, slow turn 3 that's almost like a hairpin. It should be extremely exciting to watch these guys try to navigate this really confusing circuit here tonight. Like Evan said, it should just be an insane race, and this is where a lot of things can go wrong. It's one of them tracks that not a lot of people own on iRacing. They kind of forget this is a track, but it's here. It's ready for a lot of upstate racing, chase race tonight for 200 laps. And before we get this thing kicked off, Evan, I'm going to make my championship prediction. Now, all season, I have been saying Justin Brooks is going to win the championship. So, of course, tonight I'm going to say that Ryan Borges is going to win the championship.
Interesting a twist on that. The 12 drivers, again, that are going to be competing, and the way that they stack up entering tonight with the bonus points factored in. Your championship leader is Brandon Otto by 2 points over Justin Brooks and Justin Fuller, who are tied for second in the championship standings. Fuller, the 3-time defending series champion, he's the only driver that has walked away with the top honor in this series, as it is season 4. So there's a bounty up, essentially, and literally, on Justin Fuller to see if anybody can beat him. You have Chalmers Parker, 4th in the points. He's 4 back. P5 to Ryan Borges, who's 5 off at the top spot. 7 back and 6th is Nicholas Rasmussen. You also have Chris Cable, Matthew Wright, Dale O'Neill, AJ Bunch, Al Smith Jr., and Joshua Cotton as the 12 drivers that are going to be able to walk away with this. You made a prediction. I have to go with Brandon Otto. Has been solid and has been the most consistent driver all night long. In 9 starts, has 8 top 5s and 8 top 10s. He only has 1 race where he's not finished inside of those. So if he's there at all, PD, he's at the front of the field, and he's only had 1 bad race all year. Now, again, 5 races in this championship, not a lot of time to make any mistakes, but I have to go with Brandon Otto, my money on him, as we roll into this. But again, the Concord Speedway, a lot of people don't, remember it's a track. It is a racetrack. Who designed it and why? That is possibly will remain unknown forever, because again, it is a very strange racetrack, but it is the world's fastest half-mile tri-oval, as it apparently that is its claim to fame. The track where grassroots racing lives, located technically in Midland, North Carolina, formerly known as the Concord Motorsports Park, but the track itself, it's an asphalt surface. We talked about it at half a mile in length, 3 turns. You got 8 degrees of banking down the front straightaway. You sail it off into quarter number 1, pretty standard, 14 degrees of banking. Then there's that thing on the back that makes it a triangle. Some call it the dog leg, some call it the chicane, the bus stop, whatever you want to call it. 10 degrees of banking on that one. That's a place tonight, PD, with the drivers have talked about. Things could get very interesting and at times very ugly throughout the course of this race. Then back down the back straightaway, which is banked at 11 degrees, and another 14-degree corner, turn 3. So essentially a triangle this racetrack is, but the fact that there's only 5 championship races here to determine who walks away with it, you can't afford a mistake. Concord very well could be the track that bites somebody, and their championship title hopes could go away really before they even start, depending on how this shakes out.
Now, certainly do not be surprised if a guy like Justin Brooks win the championship, even though neither of us introduced him or said we'd pick him. And speaking of introducing people, I would like to introduce our 3rd member of the broadcast night, Pit Road reporter Justin Rose. Now, what do you expect to see down there from Pit Road tonight?
I expect to see a lot of teams fixing beat-up cars here. From what we've heard from pre-race chatter is that a lot of drivers are going to use that chrome horn up front. Look for them to be sending a lot of damaged cars down here to pit road for teams to fix.
All right, that was our 3rd member of the crew tonight, and Evan, it looks as though they're gridding up now.
We are on the grid, and let's let you know where everybody's going to stack up for Chase Race 1 and the NHR 200 from Concord. Pole sitter going to go to the number 23 car. AJ Bunch tops the pile with a 16:038 on the obviously the inverted field with the times here as well. So Ryan Borges going to be starting P2. Tim Bills in 3rd, 4th to Joshua Cotton, and Brian Rogers rounding out the field in P5 with a 16-second lap.
In P number 6 is Chris Cable, P7 to Brandon Smizer, P8 to championship hopeful Brandon Odo, 9th to race winner hopeful Casey Kelly, who was almost 2 times faster than everyone in practice from what I've heard. Round out your top 10 is another Chase contender. He won the last race, Cody Parker.
Right behind him, Cody Kelly, the number 3 machine, starts 11th. 12th, Justin Brooks the 2nd. You got Justin Fuller, Al Smith Jr., and Jeff Rivard through 15th.
Dale O'Neill, Matt Wright, TJ Graves, and Brandon Wilkinson, along with a first-time racer tonight, Bruce Perry, round out through top 20.
More chasers back here. 21st, Nicholas Rasmussen, James Linkovic, Zachary Mason, Jason McLatchie in 25th, the Dan DeBuke, Cale Frenier in 26th, and provisional on the field in P27, the 98 machine of Eric Haig. 2 pace laps on tap, as this racetrack does sit just shy of a mile in length at half a mile, so the field rounds out of 4. Real quick before this one goes, PD, predictions on what we see tonight. We know it's going to be exciting.
A lot of action, a lot of tempers flaring. I expect to see someone intentionally wreck someone. I expect to see a bunch of wrecked cars, and I expect to see a surprised winner. Tonight, it's all going to go down from the tricky triangle minus 2 miles.
Yeah, this one, there's 12 drivers plus 20 more that can play spoiler in it. Pace car down and away. The chase get set to roll as we enter quarter number 3. The 23 of A.J. Bunch, the 32 of Ryan Borges make up the front row. Across the restart line into the box, green flag flies down the front straightaway. We're racing for the Concord Speedway, and the chase is underway, side by side all the way through this pack. First battle remains for first position. To the outside goes Ryan Borges. Had it 1 moment and a half of a car length lead, and now that 23 give A.J. Bunch the sole lead up front. So top 2 single file out, still battling third on back, 2 wide, at least 2 rows deep.
Tim Bills trying to get by Joshua Cotton. That's the chase contender. If you're on the outside through this dog-leg portion, you have to check up a little bit. We see Joshua Cotton check up and Bill still to the inside, though. Cotton diving in deep, and caution's already out. Can't say I didn't expect this one with an early yellow here. Looks as though it occurred deeper in the field. Looking for the car number. Evan, did you catch it?
I think it's the 112. I know Bruce Perry, he has turned around. This is going to be the cause of the caution, so very early. Things getting slowed down here. It was back at a pack. You said the 112 of Bruce Perry. Replay going live now. And that was a P20 machine. Went into the corner and had a little bit of assistance from behind him. This was down in 1. The 5 machine of James Linkowitz trying to find a way through. And off the corner, it looks like the 112 pushed a little bit high. So once they got down into that dogleg, smallest contact, sending that 112 machine around. That's going to send out a caution flag. And we slow them down very early, as we already back under yellow flag conditions, lap 4 of 200, and a lot of the drivers were making comments about the checkup, the accordion effect on that initial start of the race, which led to not only all the side-by-side action, but as you saw there, because of that, a lot of things getting checked up, a lot of people can easily get into each other, and I guess you could say that evidently does lead to the yellow, but we slow them down, and a bunch still leads this race in the iRacing Memes entry.
The iRacing Memes entry still out front. Not really seeing anyone come down pit road. And Evan, we're talking about this championship, but also on LSRTV, we like to talk about iRacing.com a lot. And Evan, with Saturday launching iRacing's perhaps most hyped up event ever, the 24th hour of Daytona, we expect to see the server gain, like the service, since it's providing such an event like this, we expect to gain a lot more drivers, Evan. And with that moving forward, we could see these league races having close to 40 cars, and that would just be pure insanity. But it's a very well in the realm of possibilities here with iRacing, including 24-hour official races, and that should be fun to participate in, I know, but I think it'll have a big impact on the service moving forward.
Yeah, lights off at a pace car. The last few weeks we've talked about it on the broadcast that, you know, week in and week out, these guys do put in significant practice time, but a lot of them have kind of been dividing up their time on track between their league races as well as preparing for the 24-hour race coming up on the 31st this weekend, which will be an exciting one to watch. Pace car down and away, still down to back straightaway. We do go green once we cycle out of the quarter. The 23 once again going to be in control. Borges made a good challenge on the initial start of the race, but once we got back to 3, the 23 held on to it. Green flag in the air, and a much better restart than the first one. Bunch is clear. First battle already for second. That's Joshua Cotton. Petey can't hold the bottom, and Borges going to be able to sneak back into P2. Fourth place is where the fighting's on back.
Yeah, 4th place, Tim Bills, and that's Brian Rogers on his inside. Rogers going to give him 3 wide. They thought about cable let off a little bit, so that's going to let Tim Bills slide in front of Odo, or at least he's going to try to. And he's going to go more up the racetrack. He just cannot keep that thing in the second lane here, and that's going to let Odo get to his inside. Odo now battling from the 5th position. Oh, 37 is the wall. So that's going to let Odo get through the hole there, and already a good championship run for him already to the front here in the top 5. So what he needed, and right behind the battle ensues between teammates Tim Bills and Casey Kelly. Never mind, goodbye, Bills.
He get way up the racetrack, and because of that, you see the 05 is going backwards as well. Chris Cable with nowhere to go. The Craftsman Chevrolet now has to duck down to the bottom lane because he was checking up for the 37 and kept going backwards until he found a spot in lawn. So he's able to kind of recover from that. However, not only did it cost the Tim Bills machine, it drops Chris Cable from a 6th position outside of the top 10. As they run right now. A.J. Bunch still leads this race. Ryan Borges, though, one of the drivers that is not going to roll over and give this one up. That JD Marketing Chevrolet Camaro in P2 right now is starting to apply the pressure after the 23 was able to get the lead right off of the restart. Other than that, a lot of single file inside of the top 10. A little bit of a bottle of Dale O'Neill.
The 23 and the 32 wrecked. Those 2 cars are destroyed. Then we're 2 chase contenders, Evan. The 23 got tight off of 3 of those technically. Hit the wall. Ryan Borges came into his quarter panel. They both nailed the inside wall. 23 blew his motor. That's big chase implications as you see the replay. And Ryan Borges' car, he might have blown the motor too. I didn't quite catch that. But, oh my goodness, and no, it looks as though both of them do have their motors, but the 23s probably have too much damage. But Borges taking a heavy hit, and that's huge chase implications already on lap 12 of this race.
We were just talking about how they are just riding around right now, and it was Borges applying the pressure, and you saw it getting tied off the corner. We saw similar thing happen, PD, just moments ago with Tim Bills, and those cars were able to get down to the inside, but I don't think Borges was anticipating that. 23 got sideways, right as that 32 stuck the nose to the inside, and around and hard into the fence goes that 23 of AJ Bunch. That car is coming down pit road, heavy black smoke pouring out of it as he goes into his #1 pit stall via sitting on pole position. Borges is down pit road as well. Looks like TJ Graves and a couple of other drivers are down there as well from the back of the pack. But that does cycle Joshua Cotton up to the top spot. Going to send it now down to pit road with our pit road reporter, Justin Rose. Now, Justin, a lot of guys down pit road early in this race pretty much, but the top two who were just leading this race, pretty significant contact, and it looks like they're just trying to see what they can get left out of those machines.
The 23 machine of AJ Bunch sitting on pit road right now with the hood up. Several other drivers taking this opportunity to put on 4 fresh ones, trying to see what they can do here on the restart here. A lot of guys tending to ride around the back of the pack here, but as of right now, it's going to be a while here for the 23 machine sitting down here on pit road. Who knows when he's going to be able to get back out as the 32 machine pulls into the pits now for repairs to that 32 machine as well.
So a lot of people, again, Borges as well as that AJ Bunch entry coming down for damage repairs. And it's going to be a long night if they have to continuously pull down, get some service, get back out there until they either get all of those optional or even required repairs done, or, just trying to get the car as good as it can be. Not going to get back to 100%, but still a long way to go in this one. Put it right at about 184 laps to go when we come across the start-finish line this next time by. The lights are off on top of the iRacing Ford First Mustang pace car. This time, how about Joshua Cott, the #4, who started P4? He'll lead us to the green flag this time. Alongside him, the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. They make up the front row. Cycle at a #3, green flag in the air, and back at it from Concord. At a great restart by Brandon Noto to the inside, challenging for second. We saw the same battle on the last restart. It went in the favor of the car that started P2. This time, the car who's third gets the job done, and Noto moves to a top 2 spot.
Joshua Cotton in the chase barely made it. I think he could be a dark horse. He's had speed all season, but just horrendous luck here as he leads this race over Brandon Odo. Odo looking to make easy work of him. Odo's right there on his bumper, trying to get by him. That will not circulate there. As behind him, we see Casey Kelly go to the outside of Brian Rogers. Kelly has been oh so fast this season, going 2 for 3 in races he started winning them. And here he goes on the outside. He's trying to make them moves. He's doing a great job out there, but when he gets to the dog leg, he's going to be a severe disadvantage. Never mind, Brian Rogers let up, not the 50 machine, and the 50 is going to make it work on the outside as caution comes out on the speedway. That one's going to be involving 32 of Ryan Borges
it's a bunch of cars
again.
in this. Brandon Wilkinson, the #56 machine, is torn up. A whole lot of cars in this. This one started back in the corner, and it looks like the 62 slid up. That's Cale Frenier in the middle of the corner. Looks like it was 1 PD. 56 gets into him, overcorrects it, back up the track. A huge impact for the Brandon Wilkinson entry right there with that outside retaining wall, kind of ducks away for access to the pit area. He hits that wall, bounces up on his side. The 95 car is right there with absolutely nowhere to go. Brandon Smizer in it. Looks like the 61 gets some damage. Small contact for Eric Hag, maybe. A lot of guys checking up behind that, and about 3-4 cars at least involved in that incident with at least some sort of significant amount of contact to slow us back down very quickly. Still 26 out of the 27 cars that started this are on the lead lap. The only car that is still on pit road, as we had come to expect, was the AJ Bunch entry. Actually believe he just took it behind the wall, so his night may be officially done. But that one was, it just happened so quickly, Pete. We're seeing this tight condition over and over coming off the corners. We talked about the fact that it might be that chicane area that may be one of the tricky spots so far this race, but turns 1 and 3 are no slouch either.
No, and meanwhile, I've caught down here with our in-race reporter for the first time tonight, Justin Ford. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Justin, you're in here trying to win your 4th straight Upstate Racing Championship. Talk about dominance. How do you plan on pulling that off tonight with all this competition out here and so far a lot of carnage?
Just trying to keep the car clean. We got the nose clean so far. We got the back bumper beat off pretty good so far. We're only 22 laps in, so it's going to be an attrition race. Just got to make sure you finish.
All right, before I catch up with the crew, do you think you can pull off one of your 4th straight championship?
I think we can. It's going to be tough. Definitely the toughest season so far, but I think we can do it.
All right, well, quick cautions here, so we're going to let him catch back up with his crew there, Evan. But definitely a determined Justin Fuller to win his 4th straight, and he thinks he can get it done.
He talks about the competition. Justin Fuller does enter this race as one of only 4 drivers in the chase with a victory on the season. He, along with Chalmers Parker, do have 1 trip to victory lane in the regular season. Him and Chalmers did make 10 starts. Brandon Otto and Justin Brooks, the cars that topped the standings after everything was shuffled back up, they both lead. Otto at the top and Fuller actually tied with Brooks. Both Otto and Brooks have 2 trips to victory lane and only 9 starts. So when he does say that it has been some of the toughest competition, no truer statement couldn't be said, because again, we've seen different winners week in and week out, and who we can see, and you said it at the top of the broadcast, we could see guys win this race that aren't even some of the chase drivers. Joshua Cotton, though, sits in P12 at the back of the chase standings. He wants to make a statement in round 1 of 5, and he still leads. The 4 car going to be in control once again. He takes the green flag at a quarter 3. Green flag now back in the air. A little bit of contact between the 50 machine and the car right behind him in the 33, as there was a little bit of a checkup on that restart. But first battle for second and digging for it is Casey Kelly. He'll get it. Great move for P2.
Justin Brooks dives it in there. That is Justin Brooks, a guy who's expected to win this championship. His friends call him the redneck soldier, and here he is to the inside of the 24. Odo trying to make passes here, although Odo's fighting hard on that outside, and he's not going to give up, and it prevails. Odo gets position, and Brooks gets way loose, and he hangs onto it. And that will send him right behind the Odo machine. Though that's the machine he really needs to focus on beating. And man, he's having problems here. The 05 is right up on there as I get reports listening to him, and maybe issues between him and the 05, Evan?
Well, the 33 got sideways and had to step it up the hill, and that's the second time tonight that Chris Cable had to make an evasive action for somebody who could not maintain control of the race car in front of him, so that's obviously frustrating. Again, he started 6th. I talk about he dropped outside of the top 10 at one point after Tim Bills was all over the place, sliding backwards in front of him at the high side. Now he's back into the top side. Somebody's in the inside of the leaders. All around him, we're still wrecking in the corner. The 05, the 24 of Brandon Odo with heavy damage as well, as he got caught up in it. But Joshua Cotton, the number 4 car, 2 times in a row now, our leaders are going to wreck. There was a lap car on the apron, PD, that forced the 50 up a little bit higher, and he just got into him. And it's the 5-0 of Casey Kelly, who turns the 4 of Joshua Cotton. The 50 goes up, takes out Brandon Odo. The 05 of Chris Cable's in it. The 51 of Fuller nearly got wrecked. Brooks nearly got taken out as well. And that one, 5 cars, 5 chase cars, and 5 of the top guys on track just got taken out on lap 30.
What an upset here. That is Brandon Odo, the favorite to win the championship heading into it. Just got set into the fence. His car would have been okay. It would have just been in contact with the wall, but he hit the wall at such an angle it actually sends wheel into the radiator, and today's engine blew up, and he is completely left the track frustrated. Man, that has to suck for Brandon Odo there, Evan, as this is a huge hit towards his championship hopes. Same with the number 4 machine of Cotton. This has just changed everything, and now if you're a guy like Justin Fuller or Justin Brooks, a huge weight's been taken off your shoulder. But what a shame for Odo, who's done such a good job this season, a model of consistency, gets taken out in the first chase race.
And I had made him as my prediction at the start of the race, so I do apologize if my jinx may have. But we talked about the fact that you can go into this race, and with it only being 5 races, the fact that you can't afford any mulligans of sorts. He's already gone. He's taken the machine behind the wall. He has left the racetrack. We can't even get an opportunity to talk to him. Heartbreak after, again, getting 8 top 5s and therefore 8 top 10s. So if he's there, he's there. He was at the front of the field in this one. And he was again, you said the model consistency. We could have easily seen Odo. His championship could very well be done, PD. Not easy to make up essentially an entire race full of points in 4 races versus the likes of Brooks and Fuller and company. So that's going to, again, be huge payoff for Justin Brooks, who sits second. Fuller still sits in a P2, rather. Brooks is P1. Both of those guys did get a little bit of contact at that exchange, but they weren't the cars that got turned around. And, you can hype up these races like, somebody can get taken out. You could be up front and this could hurt your chase. But we've seen at least 5-6 chase guys have severe issues. And, again, their championship could very well be done. And we just saw it end before. They even got a fair shot at it, essentially. 10 races in to get to this point, and you lose it 25 laps into the championship round.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be hard to make up a whole race on the man, the myth, the legend, Justin Brooks. He's up there in the lead right now. And Fuller as well as Fuller. I'm not going to discount Fuller here. those two drivers, besides Odo, are definitely the favorites. And the fact that Brooks is there leading this race makes it that much harder on Odo, and I think it's going to be extremely difficult for him to win this championship. Now, either way, pace car is off. We're getting ready for the restart here. 33 going to bring it around to the restart box with Fuller on the outside, possibly his biggest contender now with the issues Odo has had. So he's going to bring it out of 3, and he takes right off on the accelerator, but Fuller expects it, and he is gone with Fuller on the outside. Cody Kelly checks in behind the 51.
Oh, contact between them. Yeah, we've seen this before. Contact. The 33 and the 51 fighting right back to the outside. Goes the 51 of Fuller. Now Brooks takes a little bit of a high arc. The 3 car making contact now. That's Cody Kelly bouncing off of Justin Fuller. That battle now going to translate through to be for P2, and the 3 gets sideways. Cody Kelly steps it up the hill, nearly get it into the left rear of the 51 of Fuller, and the top 3 are bouncing all over each other. Top 5 single file out for the moment as the 37 of Tim Bills tries to make up for lost ground that he slid back early.
I'm looking at the guys that survived so far. Matt Wright, Cody Parker, and Nicholas Rasmussen are some of the survivors along Chase contenders. So we could see a surprise championship hopeful here as we watch some of the guys who have DNF'd here. But the main battle on the racetrack right now is for that position, number 4, between Tim Bills and Brian Rogers Jr. Bills on the inside has to check up for Rogers, who had the run. Rogers is trying to get past the Bills machine, that Diet Mountain Dew entry. He's on the outside. Bill's going to get a right run off 4, though, and he clears them. Matt Wright, one of them Chase contenders I talked about, very fast early in the season, fell off a little bit since then. Doug Bale, oh, he makes contact with the 12, and that's going to get him past him. I'm sure the 12's not too happy about that one, Evan.
Rob, it is racing. We talked about it before, and we've seen it. They've been hitting each other in the back end. They've been bouncing off each other's doors and still going at it as we close in on marking the quarter distance mark in this race, and it's what currently is our longest green flag stretch of the race so far. Brooks leads Fuller by about half a second. The 3 at Cody Kelly still sits P3. A lot of Chase guys up front, a lot of them equally as so are back and out of this race right now, but 21 cars remain on the lead lap to do battle right now. A couple of fighting going on for P10 to the inside on the 96 of Al Smith Jr. Goes to 116 of Dale O'Neill. He'll bring the 5 of James Linkowitz, looks like the 71 as well. So Al Smith Jr. having no luck up on the high side, who's in spot after spot, lost about 3 that last time by.
And meanwhile, Justin Brooks is checking out, waving to the field, saying, "See ya," as Justin Fuller waits in the wings for him to have an issue. Fuller, though, sitting there. The 3-time defending champion has a Cody Kelly issue. Cody Kelly, teammates with Justin Brooks, I'm sure wants to help that number 33 in any way he can, and passing the 51 would be a good way to start. 51 to the wall off of 2. That sends the 3 to the inside, an easy pass. So give second position to Cody Kelly. Justin Fuller going to sit there waiting for a possible issue with him. And going back to the field, don't see a whole lot of battles right now. So everyone is really starting to calm down now. Get their machines actually take that back. There goes the 116 of Dale O'Neill. He's to the inside, and caution's out, Evan.
Trouble looks like it's down in one car around. It is the 49 entry. That's Jeff Rivard, the Monster Energy Toyota. His split around does not appear to have any damage, and oh, he had a lot of help on that one. It was the 4 machine. Joshua Cotton right behind him, in line with the 95 at the 05 as well, and getting on the gas out of the corner was that 4 machine. 49 was not going, and he gets turned around. Nobody else gets into the inside wall. It is going to cause front-end damage to the 4 of Cotton, as well as back-end damage to the 49 of Jeff Rivard. But a 2-car incident just shy of quarter distance. Going to take our first opportunity to step away for our first yellow flag. Going to get in a quick commercial break. We'll go side by side, keep an eye on with all the action. You're watching the Upstate Racing League and round 1 of our 5-race chase, the NHR 200 from the Concord Speedway. A lot more to come on LSRTV. Stay tuned.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing features Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back live for the Concord Speedway. Green flag back out about 2 laps into this last run. Justin Brooks, the 33 car, once again back to the point. Cody Kelly rides second. 20 guys still left in contention. It is 7 are behind the wall after what has been an interesting quarter distance now, Mark, in tonight's NHR 200 and Chase Race 1 from the Concord Speedway. A lot of battling going on throughout this pack right now. None of it, though, really inside of the top 5, top 10. We got a couple of people bouncing off each other. But down to pit road, Justin Rose, now you have some insight on that last incident we saw.
Just before that last caution flag, we had contact on the track between the 49 of Rivard and the 4 of Joshua Cotton. Both were voicing their displeasure with each other just before that last incident, and the 4 going down into turn 1 elected not to use his brakes there and turn the 49 around on that last caution flag.
So bent sheet metals and bent tappers, which we like to see. We got contact out of the corner, hard in the wall. The 25 is around. Zachary Mason, the 05 is Chris Cable's in this as well. Chris Cable just lost the engine as the caution flag will fly. This one down the front straightaway. The 25 of Zachary Mason gets loose, gets into the 70, rather the 70 gets into him. Replay going live now, and with that 05 machine getting damage in that one, and another machine that essentially loses his engine in this one and is going to be forced to take a tow. That's yet another chase driver in Chris Cable, PD, with big trouble early in Concord. And I mean, I guess if you're one of those 12 drivers, you got bad luck, because it seems like every single one of them have hit somebody or they've been hit at some point, and many of which are out of the race already.
Yeah, iRacing's implementing this new thing where you can add where it takes 30 minutes, you can repair your car and get a new engine. They've done that with all the road stuff. They're going to implement to the oval stuff. Guess not fast enough for these guys. Just to take you through the guys who are out of the race or have significant damage and are not up to speed right now, who are in the chase: Brandon Odo, Ryan Borges, Chris Cable, Dale O'Neill is okay right now, AJ Bunch, and Joshua Cotton. So right now, about half of the chase drivers, the remaining ones are Brooks, Fuller, Parker, Rasmussen, Wright, O'Neill, and that's basically it. And that's going to be an issue moving forward. That's with Al Smith Jr. too. Now, a few of them are still on the lead lap. It's just they have significant damage from wrecks earlier here, and it'll be interesting to see, Evan. Like I said, about 6 of the drivers still remain within contention here, and more could fall tonight. Who knows? Maybe Justin Brooks and Justin Four will get into it with each other, and we'll see a surprise champion like Nicholas Rasmussen.
We do have a couple of takers down pit road, back down to pit road to Justin Rose. Now, Justin, nobody really from the top 5, but a few people coming in on that stop.
Some guys taking 2 Hoosier tires on the right side, some guys taking 4 tires all the way around. Depends on where they were in accordance to where the caution flag fell for them, where they were in line, because with this long line of traffic here on this half-mile triangle, it's going to be quite a while for them guys on the back of the pack there to get 4 tires changed. So some of them electing to go with 2 tires, some with 4, just back markers, just trying to ride it out, let all the wrecks happen, and then go racing with probably 75 to go or so.
You talked about the commercial break there about Jeff Rivard, who last week was able to walk over the top 3 after, it hit the fan, per se. And it was a wild race. A lot of these guys, a lot of the chase drives as well, can just kind of be hanging around at the back here and, almost hoping for the same strategy. Wait till you get to halfway and then move up and hope that they're done wrecking by the time you make that charge.
possible here. And Evan, everything's been so shaken up this race, I don't even know what to think at this point in time. Want to look at the number 32 entry. That's Ryan Borges, last car on the lead lap. Look at him right now. His car has a very... Oh, we're about to go green here. I also want to say his engine could blow at any second here, Evan, so watch out for that.
That front end damage can tend to cause overheating, and that engine can go at any moment, which is something you have to keep an eye on for these cars that even have minor damage, but it's still a possibility. Green flag back at here. Once again, Justin Brooks leads us to it. The 33 leads at the point, and it's three-time defending champion Justin Fuller who wants P3, and now he's going to be able to get it. He clears Tim Bills down, and now through quarter number 3, wants to close in on Cody Kelly in the 3. Not sure how many times I said 3 in that sentence, but it was a lot. The 37 of Tim Bills is 4th. Matt Wright rounding through to the top 5 right now. Battling going on, the 49 of Jeff Rivard, he was just around. He's trying to get back up to the field, battling with the 112 machine of Bruce Perry. That's the Mountain Rope Designs machine way up high, letting everybody go on through.
Yeah, so he's letting everyone go on through there. And Justin Brooks still leading this race. This time a little bit more of a challenge. Cody Kelly sticking with him. And that's the best battle on the racetrack right now until you get to Dale O'Neill and Jason McGlatchy. McGlatchy's actually just going to let him get in front of him. So that will end the best side-by-side battle on the racetrack right now for a position that's relevant, unless we want to talk about the number 95, Evan, as we're currently watching the 95 and 49 go at. Jeff Rivard, 3rd place last week. You hit on it. And Smizer has been fast all season. They had a bunch of poor luck. Is trying to get that position, take it away from the 95 machine on the inside. Really wants to get it done here, and he's just having issues getting around that 49 machine. So Smizer is still battling for the 15th position with Jeff Rivard. Do you have any updates on more relevant battles, Evan?
We do have the 95 going at it. Other than that, we do have a lot of bumper-to-bumper, including the lead, which is only separated right now by half a car length between Justin Brooks and Cody Kelly. Now, with that kind of a gap, it means the 3 could easily get into the back of the 33, or if Brooks has some trouble, Cody Kelly could have nowhere to go. We've seen that at least 2-3 times tonight from the top spot, but the fact that although nobody's necessarily side-by-side right now inside of the top 10, we are all bumper-to-bumper, which means that you can fight, 10-plus laps for that position. One small bobble we've seen. Corner exit has been quite tight for a lot of these guys so far in this race, especially when they're racing in packs and try to make moves on each other. One small bobble can cost you a lot of positions because everybody's still stacked up on top of each other. Top 10 within 3 seconds right now. It's 3.8 seconds back to P10, the 70 of Jason McGlatchy. So a lot of fighting going on still in the pack, but for a moment, although we're still bumper to bumper, everybody has a chance real quick to catch their breath because single file through the field as Justin Brooks leads. He takes lap 68.
He takes lap 68. That is indeed a fact here as he's leading this race over Cody Kelly. And falling back further a little bit to the battle that will be for right now, as they say on the track, 3rd in points. Cody Parker's just going to fly by Matt Wright here. At least he thinks, and yeah, he will. So Matt Wright's going to fall back to the 6th position now. So that's going to hurt him a little bit as he falls back. Another chase driver making moves is Dale O'Neill. He's been trying to pass that 12 car for a lot of laps here. The 116 has been really on it. We're looking at him right now trying to get by that 12 machine, and Brian Rogers trying to get under him. He's going to get under him, Dale O'Neill, and he's going to try to make the pass here. He needs to get up there. Evan, I want to talk about Dale O'Neill. He's been so fast all year, but he's just, I don't know if he's had bad luck because really I haven't paid that much attention to him, but it seems as though he's up front each and every week and he never finishes there. He could possibly be a dark horse entering this chase as the 9th seed.
Yeah, if you look at his statistics with 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s, no way indicative of the way that team has run. He sits P8 right now. That's the tied entry. Started 16th, so he's pretty much, cut that 50% off of where he started up to the top spot, but he has had solid runs, and it's late in the race, which are the most difficult portions of these events, and that is being able to do, at some tracks, again, even at some points, no pit strategy. Some people staying out for all of it. Some people pitting to make late race runs, depending on how the yellows fly, but closing out these races is so key, and it has essentially been the storyline of the season. Now I guess opening up these races has to be the storyline because that's where all the chaos has been for all of our chase guys. And, we don't want to beat the dead horse, but it's huge that at least 6 of these guys have had major troubles, many of which have put them behind the wall and could very well put them out of the championship favorites, like a Brandon Otto, who has been the most consistent. Even his rival, Justin Fuller, saying the only thing that he doesn't like about a chase race or chases like this is because you're not rewarded for consistency. And Otto, by far, Petey, the most consistent driver all year, could have his championship done at 20 laps into it out of a 5-race chase. And that's something that you got to deal with. It's one thing that in auto racing and the way these chases work is it's not just these 12 guys out there on track, and even if it was, we'd still have a couple of incidents because at least 3 of them have been between chase guys, but there's 20 plus other cars out there mixing it up with the fray. They want to walk away with the checkered flag. They want to get whatever spots they can because they're fighting for 13th on back still in the championship standings. That battle is Brian Rogers Jr. and Danny DeBuke for 13th and 14th in points. There's still a lot going on around these chase guys, so although it's very easy to kind of single everybody else out, everybody else is playing a factor in how these next 5 races are going to shake up.
And that is extremely true here, as everyone's just kind of holding ship here. As watch Matt Wright got passed by James Linkowitz. He's thinking about taking that back, will not do so. So that is really was the best battle on the racetrack now. Is Cody Kelly. I don't expect him to pass Justin Brooks here. He's just kind of sitting in behind him. They're teammates. They're going to respect each other, and I'm sure Kelly's fully aware that his teammates fighting for a championship here. So I don't expect him to make any, risky passes on him at least. And I expect to see a whole lot of respect between those two. Besides that, having the best battle on the track right now, between chase drivers, has to be between that 71 and 4 machine. Joshua Cotton right on the bumper of Nicholas Rasmussen. He's we didn't really pay attention a whole lot this season. He entered the chase at the 6th seed, I believe it was, and he had, I think, 7 top 10s in 9 races. So Rasmussen never made a lot of noise, but he's been there all season. He's been, besides Odo, really one of the bigger models of consistency.
And the biggest thing that you got to look at is that if Nicholas Rasmussen wants to win this championship, has 6 top 10s in the first 10 races, but no top 5s. You can run top 10 and make a top 12 at a chase, but in 5 races, you need to be able to get top 5s if you want to be able to walk the championship. Now, of course, everybody could rack out, which, half of them have done that so far, but you need to be able to break that barrier between a top 10 and a top 5 if you really want to be able to knock off a lot of points in these races and really make some decent headway. Again, he's 6th in points, but there's guys that start at a disadvantage because of the way these bonus points shake out. Brandon Odo at the top was leading over 12th position by 13 points. It was Joshua Cotton. Cotton, who at one point looked like he was going to run away with this, still on track in P11, but has a long way to go to be able to get back to the top spot in this race. A lot of different things can happen because of those bonus points, which have essentially put a couple drivers behind to start with.
Yeah, so that was just an interesting shakeup. Justin Brooks leading this event, I have to say, is just kind of like, if you're Brandon Odo, you're sitting there like, I DNF'd, how is this getting any worse? And then your biggest contender, Justin Brooks, starts winning the race, and that just has to be, I'm not going to say it's the last nail in the coffin, but he's laying in the coffin and they put the first nail in, and the second nail would be Justin Brooks winning this race. So he certainly does not want to see that happen here, as Brooks is still leading this event, and it appears as though he's not going to have a lot of challenge going on, because I don't see his teammate trying to make any too risky moves on him. So right now, if you're Brandon Odo, you're hoping that Justin Fuller and Justin Brooks get into it here. The Justin shows we saw earlier in the season. That would definitely help out the Odo entry if they got into it and had some sort of incident. But even then, he'd need a lot of help. So don't know what's going to shake out of that here, as everyone's still racing single file. Joshua Cotton still thinking about passing Rasmussen here. The 4's around the 71, and he's going to get underneath them, or at least try to. And yes, he is. The 4's underneath the 71, and the 71 goes into the wall off of 1, and Joshua Cotton says, see ya. He gets by the 71. Now the 71 just has to try to keep Al Smith behind him. That actually is for position, so he needs to keep Al Smith right behind him, and hope they can hold on to that 11th position here moving forward in this event, as right now, that's a position you don't want to lose for Rasmussen. That's one of your contenders for, at least if they're going to be battling for top 5 points, Cotton's going to be up there with them after this event. So that really is a position he probably would like to hang on to. This race has a very green feel to it right now. Now, I know we'll always get the late cautions as we see, or at least knock on wood, hopefully we don't see them, as Justin Brooks is, as Evan knocks on wood, as Justin Brooks is still leading this event over Cody Kelly. And although it appears, though, Evan, that Cody Kelly is really starting to make a little headway on him, and those are 2 of the machines with real-world sponsors in this event, the Elliott Realty machine and the Short Track Racing Network machines battling up here.
Yeah, that 7-1 Rasmussen we were just talking about has a lot of back-end damage from earlier in this race. But Cody Kelly, you mentioned that Brooks was starting to pull away with this again. Cannot forget about Cody Kelly, although it is Justin and Justin who are the top chase runners. Cody Kelly, who came in late in the regular season, was unable to qualify for the championship, but again could still play a factor in taking away critical points in comparison to Fuller, who would like to finish second. Even if he wins this race, taking away that many more bonus points than a Justin Brooks. The 3, however, does catch the fence that time as we quarter out of 4, so he slides back a little bit back to 0.4 of a second, but I feel like on this longer run, that 3 car may be able to make some sort of headway in this race. But you got Brooks, you got Fuller. Tim Bills has been a fast car all race long. That ElliottRealty.com entry had a brutal start, Petey, after he was up high and it was essentially on like a slip and slide for 3-4 laps. The 05 of Chris Cable behind him had nowhere to go, and they dropped from a top 5 spot to outside of the top 10. Slowly but surely, that 37 creeping back in the mix, albeit 5.3 seconds back and forth. So right now, you can call it a top 3 breakaway. Fuller, who's third, is 1.7 back in comparison to the top 2 that are only separated by 0.3 of a second. But pretty much the top 3 look like to be the class of the field at this race. And at this point in the race, it does seem to be the way that they always go, ironically enough. If you get a couple of yellows at the start, there's almost stints that you got to divide this up into, Petey. There's that opening portion where you get a couple of yellows, everybody gets things filled out. You got to survive that and make it to the rest of the race. A lot of drivers unable to do that. Now you get that middle portion of the race here, halfway point, in just about 2 laps or so, where we get those long green flag stretches. And as you said, knock on wood, late in the race, not always, but typically, cautions really throw one last curveball into it.
Yeah, and I'll do the little Evan knock on wood there. Justin Brooks is still leading this thing over his teammate, and it appears as though they're getting a little bit of lap traffic with Smizer there, and they're going to be coming up on the Eric Haig TV entry real quick here. That's one of the league sponsors. Going with league sponsors, also there's Hanson Starter Shops, Lake City RC Speedway, just a ton of great sponsors to this event here. And Evan, it's always nice to see the sponsors come out. And make sure to check all of them out at their own separate websites. You can find it on the Upstate Racing website. Caution's out on the racetrack, and this one involved I can't see the number on that machine, Evan, but it was out here in 1.
There's smoke. It looks like the 95 is slow. It is. It's going to be Brandon Smizer right at the halfway point. That entry with a self-spin through 1 and 2. You see the 95 car go around, and the 95 spin it out. Eric Haig expressing his displeasure over the radio about the way that timed out between him losing his second lap and the caution flying at that time. But our leaders are now down to pit road with Justin.
Waiting on the 33 machine to get to his pit stall. Looks like it's going to be a 4-tire change here for the 33, as the 3 as well. 51 also in for service, as we're looking at the right side going up on the 33 machine. 2 new Hoosier tires being slapped on that machine there as the Jackman puts the car down. Running over to the left side here, looks like Brooks is going to take 4 tires along with the 3 of Cody Kelly and the 51 of Justin Fuller as well. All 3 of your top 3 there are going to be taken. Oh, wait, 2 tires for the 51. 2 tires for the 51, down and away, beats the 33 and the 3 off of pit road.
So the 51 machine of Justin Fuller came in pit road behind both the 33 and the 3 cars, and somehow was able to come down and get tires on both sides and get back out in front of them. So that could be huge. However, equally as large, Cody Parker stays out, gets a bonus point for leading a lap. Now, not one of our chase drivers, but that's something as well to keep an eye on, that if we do get these cautions, that kind of split this race up essentially into 2 parts, because coming right at the halfway point is bonus points. Stay out, lead a lap, get a bonus point. But we are now halfway, and everybody is still cycling through pit road, PD, but we got that long green flag run, and now it's essentially a 100-lap race from here on out. In this 200-lap event, we're halfway through it all. There's only 16 cars left in competition. Almost half of the field is out of it. There's 15 now on the lead lap. There's quite a few that are 1 lap down. You got Brandon Smizer, it looks like Jason McLatchy, Bruce Perry, Eric Haig, all sitting 1 lap down. Dan DeBuke still out there, 8 laps down in 20th, but other than that, everybody else off. So you really have to approach this as a brand new race. You got 100 laps, that's your target, and you got to go get that checkered flag.
Yeah, all the leaders took 4 tires there. I'm really curious. I don't know what happened there on Brooks' stop. He actually went and wrote on the iRacing chat. Said, "That's cool, pit crew." So Justin Brooks expressing his displeasure with the pit crew there. Although if I was Justin Ford, I'd be pretty nervous. He's in a wheeling and dealing motorsports mayhem right here. The leader is going to be James Linkowitz, the driver out of that garage. Sky in third is going to be Justin Brooks out of that garage. Cody Kelly out of that garage, and Tim Bills out of that garage. So right now, Justin Ford is on an island all by himself trying to hold off them wheeling and dealing machines here, Evan.
Need friends, in theory, if you want to survive these races. That's a topic that we discussed 1 week ago, is who is not to tick the most people off and might be able to live through these next 5 races. Got to fight through that one. Pace car down the way, green flag in the air, and James Linkowitz is going to come across the start-finish line. The caution has now been delayed, but the pace car has already ducked off on the pit road. Going to see if it's just going to catch back up to everybody. We do slow them back down. Very peculiar timing in that exchange. So the 5 car of Linkowitz did did not officially take the green flag, PD, but the way it works is you have the ability to go green from the pace car hits pit road to the sim actually throwing it. So everybody accelerated left, then the caution flag flies, and because they'd already taken off, everybody has to check out. The pace car is slowly taking its time to get back out there on track. So he'll catch back up to the field, and we're going to have essentially a whole entire caution period now with James Linkowitz on the top spot. We're past halfway in this evening's NHR 200 Chase Race 1 of 5 with Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League and the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series. Get a step away for a commercial. Second half action on the way. Do not go anywhere. Back at it, pace cars are messing with us. Look at that split to the bottom, the 51 of Justin Fuller on the outside lane, passes the 33 of Brooks, goes to the inside. Goodbye, James Linkowitz, and moved the 51 of Justin Fuller back to the point after what we had anticipated and what should have been, PD, a full caution period. Back green, now we got more trouble back in the back. Caution flag, back out, 2 cars around in the corner. The one that's shooting out all the smoke from spinning sideways, the Brian Rogers Jr. entry. The number 12, looks like it's a Mountain Dew Chevrolet, is turned around in quarter number 1, and he had a little bit of assistance, and that's what brings out the yellow.
So that was going to hurt him there. I just want to talk about something. We were going green, going on to the restart, and I talked about Ryan Borges having that nose damage. He shifted his car into 4th gear, and then suddenly, kaboom, his motor blew up on the restart. So Ryan Borges, another Chase contender, falls. It's like Titans falling here. One by one, they fall. And we're down to just the very select few who have been lucky enough to survive this very
abrasive,
hard. I don't know. This has just been a hard race to survive so far. And Justin Fuller out front. I'm going to send it down to Justin. Justin, do you have any updates from that 32 crew? Do they think they have enough time to get that machine back out there and salvage any possible positions?
The hood is up on that beautiful number 32 machine here. The crew thinks it is a rod through the block. We do not think the 32 is going to get back out here and finish the race.
So tough Chase hopes there. I mean, Ryan Borges earned this race. He missed a race or two this season and still earned the chases. I mean, he was in the 2nd or 3rd seed, but before the chase happened, he was up there in points. He might have won last week. I think he was 2nd in points or 3rd. And, man, he was definitely a favorite coming into this event. Everyone was all hyped up for that Borges camp. And then just like that, there goes his machine. Like you said, tire rod through the block there, and that's just going to be, night ending there for the 32 machine. And Evan, what a tough break for Ryan Borges. And like I said a few seconds ago, another Titan falls here from Concord.
Yeah, there is just absolutely zero luck for the Chase drivers tonight. The question will be not where they finish, is which one of them actually just made it to the checkered flag. Not even talking about lead lap, just who is still running at this point. We're 112 laps in to our 200 lap and 100 mile event from the Concord Speedway on LSRTV. Glad to have you with us from Midland, North Carolina, the world's fastest half-mile tri-oval, where the track where grassroots racing lives is this racetrack's claim to fame. You mentioned last week. Let's let you know what last week's race results were if you did not tune in. From round 10 with the Lake City RC Speedway 100 from the Iowa Speedway, Brandon Odo was he exited as the top person in the championship after Chalmers Parker did take home the win. Justin Brooks would get 2nd, and Jeff Rivard in a side-by-side battle for P2 comes home with the 3rd place. Cody Kelly in 4th, and 5th would go to Brandon Odo, locking up that lead in the points entering tonight. You got Justin Fuller with a P6, AJ Bunch got 7th, 8th was Chris Cable, Brandon Spicer in 9th, and Dale O'Neill would round out the top 10 in that event. And again, that the final of the 10 races that lead us into this 5-race chase. The upcoming races in the chase in 1 week's time, we're pretty much all back to back here. No off weeks. Thursday, February the 5th, race 2 of 5 at the chase, the Rent-A-Wreck 200 from Langley. that one as well at 8:30 Eastern on LSRTV. Green flag now back at it, and Justin Fuller is easily back to the top spot. Brooks will remain second, and third is Cody Kelly. No surprise that him, as well as Tim Bills, who was moving back to the field and is kind of stalled out in P4, still sits there. Nicholas Rasmussen in fifth. We're side by side for P6 on back, and that battle right now in favor of Cody Parker.
Cody Parker, Chase contender, one of the lucky ones to survive this event so far. He's sitting there behind Rasmussen. Really, he just needs to get by Rasmussen. He just needs to get by Rasmussen. He'll be sitting pretty here. Only Chase contenders in front of him. The guys battling for the win right now. So, Cody Parker. Oh, we have a wreck, and it's a 51-4.
Oh!
Another Chase driver wrecks. What a night we've seen here. He was coming off of turn number 3, hit the outside wall. Brooks just had nowhere to go, hit him in the quarter panel, and bam, forward into the inside wall. Hard right side damage. That machine's going to be slowed down a little bit. And Evan, another Titan falls.
That's not the first time we saw the exact same thing happen. And I said, the 51 just caught the fence. He got turned by Brooks. Nowhere to go. Hard into the inside wall goes the 51. And then as everybody's trying to check up, another car wrecks. Looks like the 70 of Jason McLatchie wrecks. Matt Wright gets a piece of that. But again, from the top spot, Justin Fuller, 3-time defending champion, is... I can't really say take it out because he caught the fence and, essentially did it to himself. Brooks had nowhere to go, obviously would have checked up for him and turned him into the fence there. And the 33 does not necessarily walk away totally scot-free, but he is going to get a little bit of damage. Again, Justin Fuller is our in-race reporter. We'll try to talk to him in a little bit here. Going to let him and his team get everything sorted out as far as pit stop-wise. Justin, you see that 51, the checkpoint graphics. Ford Fusion is down pit road. They're putting tires on it, and looks like they're just trying to get everything fixed that they can before that pace car comes back around.
Yeah, the 51 machine, the crew's taking a little bit of tape off their front end, trying to help that 51 machine last until the end of the race there, trying not to get caught on pit road as well for being a lap down there. 51 machine, a very, very dejected crew there on pit road as the 51 takes off from his pit stall.
That 70 that got turned around was courtesy of the 98 of Eric Hag, who had nowhere to go, really. It was about half a car length off of the back bumper of that 70 of Jason McLatchie, who slammed the brakes, and Hag had absolutely nowhere to go. So he sent that 70 around into the inside wall, which made that a 2-3 car incident. We are already doubled up. Lights still on the pace car. Could go off this time by, with now 15 cars on the lead lap, one of which is still Justin Fuller, but he does have a significant amount of damage on that checkpoint graphics entry. He'll get back out there on track. But again, PD, at this point, not even about winning or gaining points, just not losing as many as you could and trying to minimize the damage for a lot of guys. Another Chase driver. It's almost getting ridiculous that, it's like the guys that got targets on their back, these Chase guys, with absolutely no luck tonight. Justin Brooks, though, liking where he sits right now in P1.
I want to ask Justin another quick question. Justin, you got to see that 51 machine up close. It definitely has both the rear wheels are sticking out from the fenders. Do you think their strategy will be try to fix the fenders, or do you think they're just going to rip them off?
They pulled the fenders out on the 51 machine, as well as taking tape off the front end. Car in not the best of health there. It looks like Fuller's just going to be riding around for points here.
All right, so Fuller needs to survive here. He probably wants to get a top 10 out of it, and that's very well in the realm of possibilities here. Evan getting ready for another restart. We are. Brooks, though, sitting extremely pretty right now.
He'll lead us back to it. Pace car down and away as we cycle through 3. The 33 and the 3 will take us out of 3. The green flag to take lap 123. 3 is the magic number tonight. Green flag back in air. Brooks once again well in control on a great restart. Half a car length to the good as Cody Kelly gets second. Tim Bills now back to a top 3 spot. First challenge is P4. Cody Parker down on the inside. The 71 and Nicholas Rasmussen tried the challenge up to the high side. Did not work out. He'll slot back into P5 and will not continue to fight about that one. 2 cars that are going side by side and across the start-finish line. The 5 machine of James Linkowitz and TJ Graves in the 22 going at it. 5 completes the pass. A little bit of a shot from that 22 off the corner. That battle for 6th.
Yes, the battle for 6th raging on here as we go back and look at them. That James Linkowitz machine, though, is trying to hang on for 7th. Now TJ Graves right behind. Mr. Excitement himself wants to get a W before it's all said and done this season. And Evan, as we watch the leaders get closer and closer to each other, do you think Cody Kelly will make a daring move on his teammate, or do you think he'll just let him win the race and be a good teammate and help him win the championship?
Hey, Cody Kelly has no championship implications on line. Caution flag will fly into the inside wall. Is Brandon Smizer, the number 95 JD Marketing entry. That looks like a Toyota is turned around. into the inside retaining wall, and he was side by side, had a little bit of help as the 7 Matt Wright, we'll get the replay going up here momentarily, at a corner 3, the 7 just pushed up. You're taking a look at it, that's that Dodge Charger entry. Matt Wright just slid up the slightest bit. A decent job on behalf of Wright to save it. Did catch the wall, but the 95 spinning out into the inside wall. Eric Hag had to take evasive action. That one was right in front of him. Hag, one of our chase guys, so although has not had the cleanest of the race of speed, he could be gaining quite a significant amount of spots because everybody around him and everybody in front of him at the points is nearly wrecked out of this thing. So Smize around for the second time tonight. The first one was unassisted. That time the 7 got into him, and quickly we slowed them back down. And I said it was going to be essentially a new race once we got to the halfway point. They're taking that very literally because we saw the cautions reading cautions in the opening laps. A great green flag stretch to halfway, and it looks like it's almost a little bit of deja vu in the second half of this event.
Yeah, meanwhile, I've caught up on the radio with Justin Fuller. Justin, we saw you get into a wreck there with Brooks. What's your guys' strategy now? How do you fix the car and be able to salvage any points from this event?
Crew's going hard to work on it. It's not too bad. Doesn't want to turn anymore, but we haven't really had a whole lot of speed in the car all day. We're just kind of riding there and just got a big push and hit the wall.
All right, Fuller, where do you think you'll be able to get back tonight? And is it crucial for you to get a good finish in this first chase race if you want to beat Brooks and all them for the championship?
I don't know if it's crucial. We got 4 more races to go, but definitely been nice to walk out here with a good amount of points.
All right, that was our race reporter Justin Fuller. I'm going to let him go back and work on his car there, Evan. But he said the crew's doing a good job fixing it up, so we might see some more speed out of that 51 moving forward, but I don't know. He does have some pretty bad damage in them rear tires.
And it is the 33 of Justin Brooks. We were talking about him and Cody Kelly. Kelly, his teammate, really with no reason, I would say, to try to make a daring move on Brooks, because although you wouldn't mean to, we saw Brooks not mean to get into the 51, but the 51 caught the fence in front of him. Cody Kelly's all over the back bumper. Justin Brooks has one bobble PD. You don't want to see him take it out each other, especially that 33 is going for a championship.
I'm actually just looking at the 51 there, and it looks as though they got the fenders back pulled out. I'm going to send it once again down to our pit road guy, Justin Rose. Now, Justin, looks as though they got that 51 looking pretty. What did they do to it?
Took some mallets and some sledgehammers trying to beat out the rear quarter panels on the 51 machine. A lot of Bondo bear tape or whatever the heck they call it. 220 mile an hour tape is what they're throwing on the dang thing, trying to make this thing smoothed out, getting rear end held together here as we're getting lined up here for the restart, guys.
All right, so we're getting lined up for the restart here. Pace car pulls off. Justin Brooks lead him down once again here. And crucial restart. All these late race ones are, although he's surrounded by 2 teammates, so not a lot of worries for him. Takes off Justin Brooks easily to the lead over Cody Kelly, although Tim Bills is going to challenge that 3, and he's just going to let him pull in the line here. So top 3 already worked out, but the 41 and 5 made a little contact there on the outside, Evan.
Yeah, the 3 car already back up to Justin Brooks, but no immediate challenge. Tim Bill's second, or at the 3rd and 4th to the 41 of Cody Parker. Behind them where the battles go, but on the 5 on the outside, James Linkowitz was able to make the pass. That slides Nicholas Rasmussen back to 6th and 7th. Is Dale O'Neill, Contner, Vard, and Rogers round up the top 10. They're fighting for 9th position. The 49 car is on the defensive as the 12 is trying to make something happen up high. Not the preferred lane to pass that we've seen so far tonight, but he's able to get half a car length advantage into the quarter. Check up the 40 now with the bobble. Give it to the 12, and now to the bottom goes the 22 of TJ Graves. After Rivard nearly planted in the fence, he got real squirrely through 1, and now he finds himself stuck up high.
So he's stuck up high here, and that's not at all what he wanted to see. So that is the 22 machine, Mr. Excitement, on 4 fresh feel goods here, trying to get by that 49 machine right behind him. Direct battle, though. 95 of Smizer. Eric Hag battling for that 12th position. Actually not battling, that's just Smizer passing. Smizer's 1 lap down after his incident, so Smizer is trying to pick up a few extra positions on the track to try to be in better position to feel safer about getting the wave around next to yellow. And the 22 machine, though, still trying to work hard on that bumper of the 49 here, Evan. As we look forward through the field, no immediate side-by-side battles, but a lot of guys really close to each other here, and we know that the way things have went here tonight. As, oh my goodness, Justin Fuller's fell out of the server. Things have just went from bad to worse here for the 51 crew. He's immediately back in, but he's going to go at least 3 laps down, if not more. And he's like 4 now, Evan.
4 now, 5 laps down. You're only running 16-second lap times, and he just got bit by the sim racing equivalency of a mechanical failure. You can say it's via the damage that he got something happen to that machine, but he has disconnected from the sim. He received the throughput fall to an unacceptable level, has already reconnected, but it's going to take him some time to load in, get back out on track. If he was not in his stall, he's going to get an additional amount of time to get a tow, and that's hugely costly for the Fuller entry, because that's going to drop him out of a position where he would not be able to make passes to guys on the lead lap unless they really fell out of it, because he's now 7 laps down and continuing to drop as he tries to get back on track. Huge tough break, and the woes continue for our championship drivers.
Yeah, the 51 machine, what a heartbreaker there. He finally got the machine turned over. He's pulling out the pits, not before going 8 laps down that 51. It's all but said and over now for him to get back in a good finishing position for this race. Although he will only be in 16th of it, so I guess it's not as awful as a Brandon Odo, who's going to finish about 24th tonight. But, oh man, if you're Fuller right now, you just have to have your head in the wheel right now. That is so disappointing. And right now, if you're a chase driver, you're just looking at Justin Brooks and saying, man, I wish I was Justin Brooks, because he's pulling away with this race. And, I mean, he's had minimal issues tonight with his pit crew and a little rear end damage. But Justin Brooks, compared to all these other chase contenders, he's had an easy walk tonight.
And that one could have gone either way when Justin Brooks got into Fuller, because it was Fuller who got turned off the nose of the 33 after he caught the fence, because that could have easily gone the opposite direction where the 33 could have bounced off with that 51. And it could have been Brooks in the wall and Fuller who would be still up front in this race and still leading. But the luck of the draw was not in favor of the 51 entry. He's now back on track, but 8 laps down. He now finds himself behind Matt Wright. That 7 car is out of the race now, so he'll slide Fuller back up to 15th. Brandon Smizer is 14th position, the only car still out there that is not on the lead lap, but with another chase contender and Matt Wright dropping out of this race now. Officially, Fuller's still there, but 8 laps down. It almost seems like there's no end to it.
And this is just ridiculous, guys. Here's the chase competitors left right now. Justin Brooks, Cody Parker, Nicholas Rasmussen, and Dale O'Neill. I'm not seeing anyone else still out there battling in a relevant position right now. So Cody Parker, previously known as Chalmers Parker, is out there in 4th right now. So he's out there trying to fight for every position he can get. And the reason he was previously known as Chalmers is he bought his account with his dad's credit card. He had changed to Cody, so that's why you guys saw his name change. So Cody Parker's out there.
Everybody
right
on
now.
iRacing knows that struggle, Pete.
If you joined under the age of 17, you know the struggle. I once was Rory Zeller on iRacing. The struggle was real. But yeah, he's still up there, Evan. So certainly a lot of guys unexpected with Rasmussen, Parker, and O'Neill kind of surprising everyone tonight.
Yeah, and we got one car that's digging the 5 of James Linkowitz in P5, trying to find a way around Cody Parker, has been driving it hard to the inside and is obviously losing on the exchange in that on corner exit, but he's really trying to make something happen right now. The top 2 separated by about half of a second on the racetrack right now as Cody Kelly remains in the number 2 spot in that number 3 car. So Brooks lead this one and could be the best chase driver exiting this. Cody Parker still in the mix, as well as O'Neill, Rasmussen, and company. Got Cotton back there as well. But right now, is it going to be a 33 night? And can Justin Brooks, who started back in P12, he's the highest sitting driver who started that far back, with the exclusion of James Linkowitz, who started 22nd inside the top 5. Brooks started 12th. He leads this race right now. We are past the 3/4 distance in this now as we work lap 152, and we will step away for the final time during racing conditions tonight. You're watching the NHR Racing 200 from the Concord Speedway with Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League and the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series Chase for the championship. We're racing it down to the checkered flag on the other side.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Back live at the Concord Speedway in Midland, North Carolina for tonight's Upstate Racing League action. The Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series working round 11 out of 15 and chase race 1 of 5 this evening. The NHR Racing 200 is now in its final quarter distance within 40 laps to go. Glad to have you with us on LSRTV. Myself, Evan Pisoku, PDJ Zeller, in a broadcast booth. Justin Rose now down on pit road, and Laura Lawson in a production hauler. And what we can only describe, and I think we tried to figure out the word for it earlier, PD, was abrasive for our chase guys who have had no luck tonight. Besides Justin Brooks and maybe 3 or 4 other guys, the 33 still leads this race and could be en route to a victory as he's opened up the gap to about 1 second.
So right now, Brooks is still out there running strong, and man, this is going to be great. Quite a battle shaping up for P5 through 9 here, in the words of Justin Rose now. And as the 5 machine is sitting there in position number 5, and behind him, though, is where it gets really interesting. All these cars are in a straight line together. 3 of them chase drivers, Rasmussen, O'Neill, and Cotton, 3 of the 5 remaining chase drivers, that is. And they're all in a big pack, so that could go downhill very quick as Casey Kelly finally takes it beside the wall. But, Evan, we're looking at this right now, 4 cars straight in a line here, and we know TJ's on the fastest tires, but we know that the 3 guys in front were chase drivers, so this is going to be a real shake-up for position here, and possibly could get chaotic whenever they all get bunched up tight together here.
He got about half the chase field in front of him. The other half are well behind him, and essentially out of this race is, again, a lot of position shuffling can still go on. Going to be 30 laps to go this next time around for race leader Justin Brooks, who has been able to kind of dodge and weave some stuff, not necessarily perfectly. You see, he does have a little bit of back-end damage, got scuffed up on the front and the sides as well, but it's been enough that has gotten him to the point in this race and that has him in that number 1 position, leading in what could give him an early championship lead exiting tonight's race. The stories that we talked about going into this is Justin Fuller, 3-time defending champion. It's season 4, do the math. Nobody else has won this title. There's literally a bounty of $40 to $50 on if somebody can beat him for the championship, plus the regular prizes. Late race trouble, connection issues, have him 8 laps down in 50. Not as bad as some of these other guys. 5 races to win it all for 12 drivers. That was our second point. Well, half of those 12 are behind the wall in this one, and expected to be a rough race. Well, those 3 points just happen to tie altogether.
So that could be extremely interesting as TJ Graves gets around Dale O'Neill. TJ now sets his sights for the Joshua Cotton entry, who's right on Nicholas Rasmussen in 6th. So 3 of the top 5 right now aren't even chase contenders. Actually, 4 of the top 5 are wheeling and dealing motorsports drivers right now, as Cody Parker sits there in the 4th position. He's actually slowly reeling in Tim Bills. The top 3 would be extremely well for his bid tonight. I'm sure he would like to get up there and challenge Justin Brooks. That does not seem likely at this point in the event, as Brooks is still just flying around, although the second place driver of Cody Kelly is starting to reel him in the slightest bit, as they're going to put Al Smith another lap down. That will put him 9 down. And you're Brooks right now. You just got to keep that machine out front in clean air with just under 25 laps to go. You're sitting pretty right now. If you can get out of this race home free and alive, you will be sitting pretty heading into the next race, Evan. I mean, the way this race has gone, literally all Brooks needs to do is get top 5 for the rest of the chase races, and he'll be hoisting the championship prize at the end of the season and the $40 for beating Justin Fuller.
Yeah, the top 5 is key. We talked about a guy like a Nicholas Rasmussen who has top 10s in the season, but the top 5 is really where it's a big step up, and it's going to give you a lot more points, and that's really when you become a serious contender. Well, Rasmussen, P6, doing exactly what he needs to do tonight to be in that mix with 4 races to go, because these races have been so unpredictable. Now, within 20 laps to go, at about 2 circuits, we'll make that marker. We're working lap 179 with Brooks in the lead. Want to thank our title sponsor for this evening's race. Haven't had an opportunity to talk about them, but it is the NHR 200. From the Concord Speedway, and this race sponsored by one of our great partners here with the Upstate Racing League, the NHR Racing Team. It's a sim racing team that was founded in 2000, but has roots back to the mid-90s that joined iRacing in 2008. The team is privately owned, and the headquarters are located in Copenhagen, Denmark. They race primarily with karts and want to give everybody an ability to get a behind-the-scenes look at what it is like to run a race team, fielding karts in the Danish National Championship and on iRacing, participating in the official late model and modified divisions. For more information, please check them out. That's www.nhr-racing.dk/English for more information on them.
Yeah, be sure to check all their great title and series sponsors out, as Cotton's going to be making a move here on Rasmussen. So Cotton to the inside of Rasmussen. Rasmussen goes up the track and give the position to Joshua Cotton there. So Cotton make a nice comeback after an early wreck he was involved in. He's going to be the 3rd highest chase driver right now, and that is key, entering his 12th seed in this event for the chase drivers, as that's going to really help his case clearly. As we still continue to watch, though, Cody Kelly reeling in Justin Brooks. I wonder if there will be team orders or anything. That should really get interesting. But with just under 15 laps to go, just over 15 laps to go here, Evan, it's going to be difficult for him to catch him. And if he catches him, I don't see him doing anything too radical to get by him, especially considering this win puts Brooks in a very good position to win this title.
There are a lot of bonus points as well on the line, not only for leading laps, for those that may be doing. We appreciate you for tuning in. There are a lot of ways to walk away with some additional points. You can have clean races as well, but you do have the Perry Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Pole Award that goes to the pole sitter, as well as Philip Thompson Racing Hard Charger Award for the person who gains the most positions. Want to look at James Linkowitz, started 22nd, sits 5th right now. One of the drivers that could very well be walking away with that one. You got the NHR Racing Rookie of the Year for the highest placing rookie, and the D's Pit Stop Sportsmanship Award for the highest driver in the points with the least amount of incidents. Justin Brooks and company do have a lot of traffic to start navigating through. Lap cars on a long green flag stretch, and this has allowed that 3 to close it in on that top spot just to about 6 or 7 tenths of a second. They do still have the 33 machine, or rather the 95 machine separating them. That is the lap machine Brandon Smizer, so not immediately able to get to Justin Brooks' Cody Kelly, but not too far back as we close in on 10 laps to go, not too far from now. These next 4 races that are coming up, though, are all back to back to back to back. We have Chase Race 2 of 5, the Rent-A-Wreck 200 from Langley Speedway in 1 week's time, followed by Race 3, the Salute to the Heroes 200 from Stafford on February the 19th. To get the Hank TV 200 from the Lucas Oil Raceway, and at the end, subject to change, Bristol Motor Speedway and a Smith Media Productions season-ending spectacular 200 on the 26th of February. All these races Thursday nights at 8:30 Eastern and 5:30 Pacific on LSRTV. And now we're down to the final home stretch, the 3 trying to get around to maybe fight for the win, but kind of got pinched there as he's trying to get around the 40 dot of Jeff Rivard. And Justin Brooks, is his race to lose at this point. PD, a caution could still fly, but once we get down to 5 to go, if it were to fly, that would end this race.
Yeah, Justin Brooks right now is open up his little box of Cheerios and drinking his Diet Mountain Dew as he's pulling away with this one. That 49 really held up the 3 there. So Justin Brooks, as friends like to call him, the redneck soldier, is in his machine right now. And before the race, you and me got a great chance to talk to Justin Brooks there. And Evan, he has a great group of friends with him there in the team speak. Always we get to talk about. I thought I saw the caution flag there, but no, it was just a reflection of something yellow on my screen. Sorry about getting almost excited there, folks. But we had a chance to talk to him, Evan, and a funny group of guys there. They were all showing us pictures and things. One of his friends actually went to the extra effort to make a Justin Brooks Yu-Gi-Oh card, and that was pretty good.
That's another old-time memory that I may want to forget from those times. But we do have about 6 laps left in this race. The 33 leads had a little bit of trouble getting around that last lap machine. that he had to negotiate by. But other than that, Cody Kelly going to be the next person that has to get around the 10 of Brian Rogers, who has fallen off the lead lap. And it looks like this race is going to end with about 9 cars left on the lead lap. And that last car on the lead lap right now, the 116 of Dale O'Neill, is good over Brooks right now by about 2 seconds. Don't think he'll be able to get him in these next 5 laps. And the 33 just don't plant it in the wall. And it's your race at this point. Now down to the final stretch.
So down to the final stretch here, Evan. We're just getting ready for the closing laps of this race. What a eventful event we've seen here from Concord. I think that's the word I want to use. We saw chase contenders fall. We saw unexpected guys rise. And speaking of rising, Joshua Cotton just moved into the top 5. And now, come the 3 to go, Justin Brooks has to survive literally 3 more laps. That is 9 more turns, and he'll be leaving with a trophy from Concord and heading into next week knowing he'll be a strong contender of the championship. Here he comes to turn 3. Evan coming to 2 laps to go. It's his race to lose at this point. If he'd have to have something drastic happen, that double 3 Brooks machine, who's been oh so fast this season, looks as though he's bringing home another trophy and a really good shot at his title.
It was a race that we talked about many different scenarios on what ifs, and you got to be strong. You can't have a mistake. There's not a lot of time to have a milligan. White flag it here. A lot of drivers used up their one, and maybe one too many, as a lot of people with trouble. The driver that did not started in P12, and he's going to walk away with the win tonight. Chase race 1 and round 11, the NHR 200. Messing with his teammate in the final corner, but checkered flag. Give it to Justin Brooks. Cody Kelly, teammate, will come home in P2. Tim Bills, cycling off the corner, will fight at the end of it all and is going to be able to walk over the P3. Cody Parker with the 4th, and Joshua Cotton through to 5th position. But Justin Brooks winning this race in a little bit of a stylish fashion, but it all came down to only 9 cars left on the lead lap when it was all said and done. And a very, again, interesting, abrasive, I think is the word that I want to go with. A very abrasive race. A lot of chase drivers, though, can't understate this enough, just had their last 10 weeks of work thrown out the door, and they could very well be done. It's going to be a long trip uphill these next 4 races for a lot of guys.
Oh man, now we get to talk to the wonderful Justin Brooks. Evan, we're going to have to try to figure out who he is. In TeamSpeak, they like to set their names to funny names, so that should be fun. But you'll get to hear from the top 3, all teammates, and more coming up here.
Now we're going to get set to set this one away. The post-race show coming up on LSRTV. We've got a bunch of cars doing burnouts on the front straightaway, but more from Concord. Hopefully going to talk to the top 3 and send you off into these final 4 chase races after what was a exciting way to get it kicked off. Post-race show from Concord coming up with Upstate Racing League and the Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series Chase for the Championship on LSRTV. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. Back live at the Concord Speedway with the NHR 200 Chase Race 1 of 5 with Season 4 of the Upstate Racing League. The Lake City RC Speedway Pro Late Model Series has come to a close after what was a very interesting, a very abrasive, that's our keyword for the night. When it was all said and done, it was a wild one, P.
It was an extremely wild one. And Evan, I heard that you're caught down there with 3rd place Tim Bills right now.
We've caught up on pit road with the driver of the number 37, and for some reason, I said 3 a lot tonight. Well, he started in 3rd position. He comes home 3rd, and he has a 3 on the card. The 37 to Tim Bills with a P3 tonight. And Tim, coming into this race, we talked about these 5 races and a lot of what ifs and whatnot for everybody battling in the championship. Things got pretty ugly for you there on the start. You got stuck on the high side, went backwards, dropped outside of the top 10, going for just wins at this point, and you walk away with the podium. Walk us through that race. We saw a lot of cautions at the beginning, a good green flag stretch, a lot of cautions just past halfway, and then a lot of green to the end as well.
Yeah, I was just looking for the long green flag runs, just taking it easy, not getting any big hurry. I was fell into the back, but it was a long race. Just take my time and be there at the end.
Rolling forward, we asked a lot of the championship drivers this. Rolling into these next 5 races, is it business as usual for you and the number 37 team coming into these races? Don't want to be, and obviously everybody else going to play a factor in it, but you don't want to be a car that would take somebody out who's going for a championship and whatnot. How do you approach these races? Do you approach them any differently, or are you just going guns a-blazing and trying to walk away with as many checkered flags as you can?
Oh, I definitely would like to win, but I'm not here to ruin anybody else's season or anything like that. It's just trying to race people clean and give them room when need to be room and have a good time.
Well, it was an exciting one for us to watch. I'm not sure if it was for a lot of the people out there. You survived, so it must not have been that bad for the 37 team. But there was a lot of wrecks tonight. In 1 week's time, we go to the Rent-A-Wreck 200. That one going to be from Langley. What are your thoughts and what's your confidence level going into that track?
Well, I like running Langley. It's a fun track. It's just it can be a wreck fest also. You just got to give people room and be a long race.
All right, Tim, well, before we let you go, catch up with the team and ship off for the weekend before we see you next week. Sponsors and shout-outs, all that good stuff. Who makes this possible?
Yeah, I want to thank H&H Sign Supply and wheeling and dealing, Justin Brooks, Cody and Casey Kelly, and James Linkowitz and Ty Spearman for giving all the help they give me.
All right, Tim, well, congratulations on a podium. I know you would have liked a little bit more, but you got Brooks and Kelly up there as well. Congratulations on a consistent night, finishing right where you started at the podium, and you were able to get through this one. Good luck rolling into Langley.
Thank you.
That is our 3rd place finisher, and now caught up down on pit road with our 2nd place finisher. Again, a number 3 car comes home in P2. He started 11th. Peter, you're down with Cody Kelly.
I'm now with Cody Kelly, and Cody, you ran about 2nd the whole race to your boy Justin Brooks, and you came into the series a little late. We're not in the chase or anything. You're here right now to win races and possibly help your teammate win the championship. What was it like tonight? And late in the race, did you think you could have got by Justin there?
Yeah, it was just real crazy right at the start of the race, and just riding, trying to keep my car clean, and got up to the front and just followed Brooks, and I might have had a little something for him at the end. I just got really, really tight.
All right, Cody. Well, moving into next week at Concord, do you think, not Concord, we were just at Concord. Moving into next week at Langley, do you think you'll have something for the whole gang and possibly Justin Brooks, who might want to lengthen his championship lead?
Oh, yeah, Langley's one of my good tracks. Justin Brooks better watch out there.
All right. Brandon Odo also undefeated at Langley, so that's going to be interesting to watch them two duel. And Cody brought home a solid 2nd tonight. What happened to your twin brother Casey? Why wasn't he up there battling with you guys like usual?
Well, at the start of the race, he got into some trouble, and he got a lot of damage. He just decided to park it.
All right, Cody, before I let you go catch up with the crew and have a good time and everything, who makes that for you, the number 3 crew?
Wheeling and Dealing Motorsports, big time. My daddy, Todd Kelly, Jamie, and my brother Casey, and especially Justin Brooks.
All right. Well, good luck heading in next week.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
Meanwhile, in Victory Lane, Evan Pasoko is caught up with the redneck gangster himself, where the champagne is flying, and so is Justin Brooks.
He wins it tonight. He started 12th. He had to work for it, and It was a lot of contact. It seemed like P1 was not the place to be. We had at least 3-4 cars wreck out of it from that top spot, but in the end, the 33 of Justin Brooks does come home. One of the favorites entering this championship. Entered 2 points behind Brendan Odo, who ended up in the fence and behind the wall, but it was all said and done. So a big boost in points for you, Justin, out of this one, but with 4 races to go, it's got to feel good to get started with the right foot forward. How'd you get the job done tonight from Concord? It was a wild one.
Yeah, first off, I want to say it's going to be back in Victory Lane. Haven't been back since week 2. And, it was a little bit of a challenge starting 12th tonight. I mean, we qualified pole, had a fast car in practice, warm up, I expected that's one of my best tracks. And, put us back to 12th. And, I mean, was just being patient and just taking advantage of stuff after the restarts. Everybody kept checking up and the outside line was moving. And I got about 7th water and it just, clear sailing from there and avoiding the wrecks and all that happened on the back stretch. Then the thing with Fuller, which sucks for him, but I couldn't do anything else about that. That was just all him. But, it's just great to be back in Victory Lane. It's a great way to start the chase. It's what we expected and we were hoping for, and it's pretty awesome right now.
Now, looking at the trouble that everybody else had around you in the championship standings, a lot of people with a rough outing this evening. How confident can you allow yourself to get with only a 9-point advantage, but at the same time, how much you have to keep yourself in check and make sure that you don't kind of discredit these guys? Because, I mean, we saw this much happen tonight. There's still 4 races to go. It's far from over.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to count my chickens early. I mean, it just gives you, gives you a little bit of room to breathe with, I guess you could say. And, just like for the next few weeks, I just know who I need to stay around, if I need to push the issue to get up there and whatnot. And if we could do the next 2 weeks, which I'm really looking forward to, both of those tracks, Langley and Stafford, if we could do the next 2 weeks like we did tonight, I think we'll be all right. If we can come out these next 2 races with top 5 finishes, I think that's going to be the key. I ain't going to say anything right now, but if we could do that, I think we got a great shot to win this championship.
Concord is a very interesting racetrack, to say the least, to get this thing kicked off with officially 2 actual turns, 3 total. There's some sort of dog leg or whatever you want to call it on the back. You talked about Langley in 1 week's time. There was a lot of wrecking tonight. It's the Rent-A-Wreck 200 in 1 week's time. You don't want to be a part of those cars that end up behind the wall. You talk about rolling into that. There's a lot of other drivers that feel like they're very confident going into that speedway. What do you think the key to that race is going to be besides just surviving and being there at the end?
It's like I said, well, I mean, that's the only keys I can honestly think of, because it don't matter where you're at in the racetrack, especially at Langley. If someone just goes in lower than you expect and you get turned out, I mean, there's so much that can happen at Langley. You just pretty much got to survive. That's the only key you can do. It don't matter where you start. You can be first, and like tonight, the leaders, they had 3 wrecks come just from the leaders, and just I don't know. I mean, like I said, next week, all it is for me, all I can say is I'm just going to sit there and try to be patient, just try to be around there at the end, just try to get good enough track position I can, get some bonus points. But, I mean, if I know I'm not the fastest car, I'm not going to push for it when it comes to the win. I just want to be there at the end and be there at the end of this championship.
Well, you lead that championship now. And by the way, if you win and defeat Fuller, you do get a little bit of a prize bonus as well for taking out that bounty placed on our 3-time defending champion. Justin, before we send you out for the evening, sponsors and shout-outs, all that good stuff, back in Victory Lane, who made this possible for the 33 as well as the team. What a great run.
Oh, yeah. First thing I want to say is great job to Cody Kelly and Tim Bills to finish 1, 2, 3 tonight. Great job to them running a clean, great race. And secondly, I want to thank Short Track Racing Network, Elliott Realty, who's come on board to sponsor me. They're both having a big sponsor deal. Big Evil Designs, Big Evil Racing, Justin Brooks Designs, Fast Track Sims, all those guys that make it happen for me each and every week. Will and Dylan Motorsports, all the guys over there, all my friends that was watching tonight, a few guys I know that's on little team speed right now, Ty Spearman, James Linkowitz, who had a great run tonight, David Krikorian, Casey Kelly, who got caught up in an unfortunate wreck on the backstretch. All those guys for support me every week, everybody over here at Upstate Racing. This, like I say it every week. It's a great league to race at. I love racing here. You got great admins running it, great sponsors, and it's gonna be a hell of a battle for the championship. I want to thank Al for, like I said, putting all this on, and all you guys over at LSRTV bringing me down here, interviewing me. I want to thank. First of all, I want to go ahead and say this now because he's been messing with me. Petey Zeller, he's apparently my #1 fan, so I'm gonna get him an autograph hero card after tonight's race, Petey. I'll send it to you in the mail on a T-shirt, and get you that going on. And thank you,
I'll
Evan.
get you a TJ Graves one.
Yeah, that'll work. I mean, it don't matter. And thank you, Evan, man. I'll send you one too, I guess.
I'll take it. Well, thanks for talking with us, Justin. Again, congratulations. A great way to get your championship kicked off. Good luck going forward. I know you got 4 races to go. We all know that 33 is very well capable. It's about just having those cards fall in the right position. Thanks for talking with us. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That's your winner tonight, who started back in P12. The number 33 of Justin Brooks takes it home. And it was a very exciting race. Again, we're still trying to find the right word to put it in. But PD, in all seriousness, you go into these chase races, we talk about it's race 1. You wreck out, you could be done. Nobody really expects 6 cars out of the championship to wreck out of it, including 4 of which were leading when they wrecked out. It really was a crazy race from the Concord Speedway, and hopefully for a lot of these guys, things calm down at Langley, but that one as well always provides very exciting close corners and white-knuckle racing.
Well, an exciting event tonight. Langley's going to be even more exciting, and Odo has a long way to go and a short time to get there. He's just messaged me on Facebook telling me how he's undefeated in this league at Langley, so watch out for him. Justin Brooks obviously is going to be good, and man, I'm going to hang that hero card up, and it's going to be exciting, though. Don't know who's going to win this title still, but we saw a weird race tonight.
What I've learned is don't pick the person that you think is going to win the championship, because that did not work out for us at all. Our predictions, at least.
Well, technically, I thought Justin Brooks was going to win the championship. We may have an agreement. We said neither of us can pick Justin Brooks because that seemed too obvious, although he just reassured why we couldn't pick him right there.
Well, it was a interesting one from Concord, to say the least, and that was round 11, but really 4 to go out of the 5 that are important, and that is that battle for the championship. We talked to the top 3. The top 10 went Cody Parker, Cotton, Linkowitz, Rasmussen, Graves, O'Neill, the last one on the lead lap, and Jeff Rivard as well. But that pretty much wraps things up from here. If you want to check out more information, check out upstateracing.com. All the information on them, and again, all the people that make this possible: the Lake City RC Speedway, Hanson Starter Shop, Perry Plumbing, Heated and Cooling, Philip Thompson Racing. Title sponsor tonight, NHR Racing Team, K&R Construction, and Hag TV as well. On behalf of the broadcast crew this evening, myself, Evan Pasokov, alongside PDJ Zeller, Pit Road with Justin Rose now, and executive producer Laura Lawson. Thank you for tuning in from Concord Speedway. Congratulations to Justin Brooks. He wins it in our first race of the chase, and we'll see you next one coming up in 1 week's time, Langley and the Rent-A-Wreck 200. Good night.